next palette I have is the, ew, we're gonna pretend that never happened and we're just gonna move on. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a video about my favorite palettes for every day. These are great palettes for everybody. There's different skin tones, different types of colors. You can go more makeup, less makeup. I love these palettes. I am gonna be honest though, some of them are not as new as others because I've been having a hard time finding some new palettes lately. If you know any that you really like and you think I should purchase them, please comment down below. If you want to see the palettes that I use for every day or cycle through for every day, please keep watching. Some of the palettes that I have here are older, some of them are newer. I've been having a little bit of trouble figuring out palettes that I should buy right now. Like I haven't really purchased many new ones because I can't find a color story that really interests me. And I feel like a lot of the colors that I'm seeing, I have in other palettes. So I haven't been really gravitating towards a certain one lately. So I'm going to share with you what I do have and what I would recommend for somebody to use for every day. So the first one I'm going to show you guys is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. This came out a while ago, but this is an amazing, amazing palette. I love this palette. I love the colors in it. They're all mattes, which if you're somebody who just loves matte colors, this is a perfect palette for you. It goes from a bunch of neutrals to darker colors. So this is a really diverse palette because you can do a lot with it. So you can glam it up if you want something with mattes. If you want to do a matte glam, you can do that. A smoky eye, you can do so much with this palette. Plus it's also very good for fall because it has a lot of the fall colors in it. The pigments are amazing in these. You will notice I do have a lot of Too Faced palettes. I do love their shadows. I love how pigmented and blendable they are. But this is one of my favorites. I use this palette all the time, as you can probably, I don't know if you can tell from there. It looks very new from over there, but other than the dirty mirror, but it's really good. I love this palette and I definitely recommend this. Next we have the, okay, I might as well do this one, but the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This is another amazing one. This is very diverse as well. It goes from a lot of lighter colors to a lot of nude ones, or sorry, to a lot of darker ones. That makes it, again, diverse. You can do a lot with it. You can glam it up. You can do neutral every day. It has a lot of shimmers in it as well, which I can definitely appreciate because I love a shimmery palette. Pigments are amazing as well. I know both of the palettes kind of looked very similar. I bought both. Actually, I have every peach palette they made. This one has like the shimmers in it, which I do like. I tend to gravitate to this one if I'm for every day because I have more options. So if you're not just looking for mattes, then maybe this one would be your best bet. But this is an amazing palette with all the beautiful shimmers. You can smoke it out. You can make it all matte as well. You can do so much with this palette. Also, it smells really, really good, like peaches. The next palette that I have is the Nude Medium by Huda Beauty. This is the perfect palette for every day. It has all these like nice colors that you can use. It has transition shades, it has shimmers, it has mattes. So it has here 4 shimmers and 5 mattes, which the colors are all very diverse, very natural kind of nude color. Well, they're not nude, but they're like brown. So you can really build these or you can leave them really light. You can play with them, put it all over the lid. I really like these palettes because again, the pigments are great. There's not a lot of kickback to these palettes, which I like too. It's easy to take with you. So if you are going to work and you want to put it in your purse because you have to go somewhere later and you want to just add a little bit of makeup, it's very small and compact and it's nice to take with you and very easy. So these little palettes are perfect. And I believe they come in, I think it's a light, medium, and dark they come in, which has a little bit of different shades for different skin tones. But I found this one is very good for most skin tones, which I really can appreciate. So this would be a great everyday palette. Plus it's really nice for fall. So if you're looking for a fall palette too, this would be a really good one too. The next palette I have to show you guys, you've seen me use this one a couple times anyway, but this is the Tartiest Pro palette by Tarte. This one is very diverse, this palette. I love, love, love this palette. It has all these mattes, but it also comes with 4 little shimmer ones, which is really nice too. It depends on your style. If you like shimmery, like matte, this is a great palette. I use so many of these colors all the time, and I tend to gravitate to this one as well, like all the time, because I like how it has like a color story in it. Like if you're somebody who needs something easy to tell you what colors to use, when to use them, where to use them, this would be so simple. Yes, it has so many colors, which can be intimidating, but if you look at the colors, you can mix these colors as much as you want. Realistically, use whatever colors you want, but if you're somebody who needs the structure of it, you could go from here to here, and it tells you basically which colors would look the best with everything. So this you can turn into a smoky eye, you could glam it out, you can make it into just an everyday look. Like I've used this for everyday looks constantly, and it has such these beautiful, beautiful like mauve kind of colors in here. Plus these like nice reddish browns, which I love red browns. So this is a great, easy palette to use. Get to know how to use, especially if you're new with makeup. This is a very easy story to follow. This is a definite recommended product for every day. The next palette that I would recommend for every day would be this Morphe 9B palette. This I think was like $12, I think, which is really cheap, which a lot of their... What is that noise? This is a very good everyday palette too, because it has all the natural like colors you would use on an everyday basis. And it has 4 shimmers in there. So they have the really dark one, which would be really nice for like a smoky eye. You can do light shimmers if you want to put all over the eye. You can even do this one here, which is really nice. It has these nice transition shades, which are a little darker than most transition shades, but they would look really nice and they're pretty easy to use. I do like the Morphe palettes. I like the shadows. They've gotten way better over the years, which if you watch any of my videos and you see me use a Morphe palette, I have said that a million times. But yeah, it wasn't super expensive, which I do like too. If you're looking for something a little cheaper, this is a really, really, really good one. The colors are just great, so you can't go wrong with that. My next one that I would recommend, as you can tell, I use this a lot, but this is the Colourpop Nude Mood palette. This one I had picked up recently, which I did really love. Like, look at that color story. Look how nice that is. It has these like really nice shimmers in the center here. It has these beautiful transition shades, which for somebody who's looking for something really easy, the transition shades in here are so simple to blend out and so easy. It does have a bit of kickback, but like not enough that it would be hard to get rid of off your face, or even like if you just smack your brush a little bit, like it'll just go away. These shades here, I do recommend using with your finger, which makes your life a little bit easier, but these ones are harder to use with a brush, I would say. So like you can use them with a brush, but they're easier with your finger. The formula on these, I'm pretty sure they're Super Shock shadows, which the formula is outstanding, like out of this world. So this would be an amazing palette for every day as well. I've been using this a lot recently. I've been adding this to my routine. It's so nice, so pretty. I even have one for clients and I use it on clients all the time. And this has been like a go-to, especially right now for wedding season. And for people who want like a very natural look, this has been the go-to look, or the go-to palette. I have a lot, sorry guys. I'm gonna just keep going. Stay with me because they're all really good. I only have a couple left actually, I lied. The next palette I have is the Too Faced Gingerbread palette, another Too Faced one, but I do love the Too Faced palettes. I own so many, like I told you in the beginning of the video. This palette, I love this. I am obsessed with this one for every day, for glam, for anything. This is such a good everyday palette. It has so many nudes in here and it has like a bunch of shimmers, which I can really appreciate too. This one, if you're somebody who's newer to makeup and can't work with a darker, well, they have light transition shades in here, but this I would say is more of like a step up from being a beginner because it has a little less transition shades in here that you would be able to blend out together without the experience. But this is also an amazing, it smells so good. It smells like gingerbread. I don't even like gingerbread. This is a great palette for every day. It has these beautiful pinks in it. It has these like orangey undertone browns. It has a gold. It has these like really nice like purpley kind of colors, which I really love. I gravitate to this a lot. I use this a ton, especially for if I'm doing something with a wing liner. I find this looks amazing. The colors are just so diverse. You can do anything with this palette. So for every day, this works really easy, especially if you're not somebody who wears makeup all the time or shadow all the time. People are looking for palettes that are easy to use at all times. Do they sell this anymore, this palette? I feel like a jerk if they don't sell this palette anymore. But it is a really good palette, so if you own it, you understand why. To find a palette with a lot of everyday colors, as well as really good colors for glam or smoky eye or going out, it's nice to find a palette with both because it's just easier. They're easier to play with, easier to store because you have less. Like I have so many palettes and it's so hard to keep them in places because for me, if I get drawn to a palette, I have to buy it, which is like ridiculous, I know. But like I said, I haven't been drawn to one recently and I'm really trying to like find myself a nice new palette that's like really calling me. So the next one I have, which this one, I love this palette. This is the Tartelette Toasted palette by Tarte. This one is so beautiful. The colors in here are stunning. The pigment is amazing. It does have a bit of kickback on it, but it is it is an amazing palette, amazing formula. What the hell is wrong with me? I love using these colors. They're so beautiful. So this is another one that I would say, what am I doing? It has a great color story, not even color story, whatever you want to call it. But when it says like toasted, I can really imagine this being like it's a perfect name for this palette. I love the colors. I love what you can do with this palette because it has so many natural colors in here. Like you can go from here for every day, and then you could glam it up just by adding a dark smoke. You can smoke it out by making a liner with the shadow. You can add some shimmer on it. You can wear the shimmer every day. Like this is a great palette that's very universal. I was saying diverse before, but I think universal is a better word. This one I'm always drawn to. For some reason, these like coppery, like reddish browns are my go-to. I love reddish browns. They're so pretty, so beautiful on the skin. And a lot of these palettes, they go on almost anybody's skin tone. Like you can do anything with a lot of these palettes. I have 2 more left. This one, okay, it's so cute. I love it. This is the e.l.f. I think this one's called Cream and Sugar. I was gonna say Sugar and Cream. These little tiny palettes are adorable. I'm obsessed with these little palettes. I just bought this actually at Walmart for like $4. And I was shook, let me tell you. Like, they work really well. Like, this gets the job done. If you are looking for like a cheaper shadow that gets the job done and blends out really nicely, because honestly, I could tell you it's on my eyes right now. They blend out really nicely. I use the shimmers with my finger just to like quickly put on some shadow. And I did my crease with these 2 colors here. And really, you don't need much more than this. Like, this is perfect. And you could buy a couple more different colors if you always wanted to, because they're so easy to use. And this really, I can do probably 3 different looks, 4 different looks with just this. I could use liner with this. Like I could do so much with this little tiny palette that it's actually amazing. So this would be something I would definitely recommend to literally everybody. Like you can do so much with this palette. I know it's only 4 colors and the other ones have a ton, but again, this is good on every skin tone. It works really well. They're like very pigmented. Like I said, I put these 2 on with my finger and I just rubbed it on the lid, put this in the outer corner, and this is my transition shade, and it really worked out, I think anyway. But yeah, if you're looking for something that's even simpler than everything I just showed you, this would be the go-to. Some of the dollar stores actually have them too, so that's definitely, you should check that out. The last palette I have, and I know anyone who's watched my channel so far, we knew this one was coming. So this is the Jaclyn Hill palette. Obviously it's dirty as hell, but the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette volume 1. Look how nice it is. Other than the fact that the names are on the back, which I complain about every time I use this palette, I'm hoping like they'll remake them and put them on the front so I'm not stressed out. This palette looks scary when you stare at it, but really this is, I think, how much was this palette? $40? This is the perfect palette for every skin tone, and you can do anything with this palette. It has neutral browns to red browns to cool browns, warm browns, shimmers. It has a little blue and purple and these little teal colors if that's something you're interested in. There's endless possibilities with this palette. Boom. This is great for every day. For somebody who just wants one palette, go-to, done. This would be the, like, actually they're all pretty good, but this has like more range. This is like 30 something colors for like $40, and they're great. I love the formula, is amazing. The kickback is barely there. It has a black, which is amazing. You can use as liner. You can do a smoke. Yeah, you can do anything with this palette. Glam it up, bake it down. You can use it for every single day. I use this palette all the time. This is like my go-to palette. I love this palette. And there's so many other palettes in the world, I know that, but this one calls me. These are the palettes that I have that I think would be great for every single day. I'm going to show you the ones that are my favorite, that I gravitate to all the time. So the ones that I cycle through constantly, I will show you which ones they are. So obviously we know it's this one because, again, endless possibilities with this palette. You can do anything with this palette. So this would be a great buy. Second would definitely be the Tartelette Toasted palette. I love these colors. I'm very attracted to like warm browns, bronzy browns, like mattes like that. I'm very attracted to that type of look. So this one is also very similar. If I could open it. This is the Huda Beauty Nude Nude medium palette. They're very similar. This one just has more colors and more options, I would say. This one has better transition shades, which I really like. So this is one I also gravitate towards a lot. And lastly, the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. This is my favorite as well. I use this almost every day. This one I love with like a wing liner, or I even use this as liner a lot. I love doing a matte look with my wing liner, so this really gets me this palette. These are the palettes that I thought would be great for every single day. The reason I picked these palettes is because I found that these were the ones that not only called to me because they had a lot of my favorite colors and they had more universal uses. They're different in certain ways. So for example, somebody who just likes mattes can use the matte ones. Somebody who likes a smaller palette can use the smaller ones. Some of them are different prices. I found all of them would work for almost any skin tone. Even if it didn't work for your skin tone, at least you can find a different one in this selection that would work for your skin tone. This is good for somebody who likes to be glam all the time, or even everyday glam. This is good for a minimalist, somebody who barely wants to wear any makeup. I tried to pick ones that were easy for beginners and still good with people who have been doing makeup for a long time. That's the reason I picked these palettes. I have a ton of palettes, but these are the ones I gravitate to for every day. These are the ones that I feel would work best for other people. If I had to recommend palettes, they would definitely be these ones. If there's any more videos you want to see about different types of palettes, like I said, I have a ton of palettes. If there's an idea you have for a video you want to see about certain palettes, my favorite glam palettes, my favorite anything, please let me know. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on Instagram to see more looks, or if you have any ideas, just let me know there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.